Welcome to today's video, the 10 worst things to do after a breakup. Because let's face it, breakups suck. They're like emotional food poisoning. You didn't see it coming, it wrecks your insides, and suddenly you find yourself questioning every life choice. But don't worry, I've got your back. Today, we're diving into the science of heartbreak and the worst things you could possibly do after a breakup. Spoiler alert, some of you are definitely guilty of these. But hey, that's why you're here. Before we get into it, don't forget to like, subscribe, and drop a comment below about your most tragic breakup moment. Let's bond through the chaos, shall we? Oh, you thought I wouldn't mention this? We all do it. Checking their Instagram, decoding their cryptic tweets, even accidentally liking a photo from 2017. Rookie mistake. But here's the science: studies show that social media stalking activates the same areas in your brain as drug addiction. According to a study from the Journal of Neurophysiology, heartbreak triggers the same withdrawal symptoms as substance addiction. So yeah, checking their profile for closure is basically like relapsing into an emotional drug trip. Do yourself a favor. Block, mute, delete. And let's be honest, stalking their new relationship, their pet's new profile, or their aunt's Facebook updates isn't going to bring you any peace. Instead of getting lost in their life, start reclaiming yours. Find new things to focus on, rediscover hobbies, or even start a digital detox. Your mental health will thank you. Example: imagine spending hours going through your ex's vacation pictures and finding out they went to your dream destination with their new partner. Now, you're not just heartbroken, you're angry, jealous, and spiraling into negativity. Instead of doing that, try replacing the urge with a productive habit. Next time you reach for your phone, open an audiobook, do a quick workout, or even just call a friend to catch up. Unless you're both Buddhist monks who've mastered detachment, this is not a good idea. Science backs this up. A study published in the journal PLOS One found that staying friends with an ex increases emotional distress and makes it harder to move on. Your brain is basically like, oh, we're still hanging out? Cool, I'll just keep loving them then. Don't do it to yourself. Give it time, give it space. Give yourself a chance to heal before attempting some kind of enlightened friendship nonsense. Sure, there may come a time when a friendship is possible, but that's far down the road when your feelings have settled. If you try to force it too soon, you might just end up in a cycle of confusion, mixed signals, and unnecessary emotional damage. Take a break from them and focus on your healing process instead. Example: Alex and Jordan break up, and within a week, Jordan suggests they stay friends. Alex, still heartbroken, agrees. Fast forward a month, and Alex is confused because Jordan is now dating someone new while still texting Alex like nothing changed. The emotional roller coaster keeps Alex from healing properly. Moral of the story: give yourself space before trying to be friends. Alternative: set a no-contact rule for at least 30 to 60 days before considering any form of communication. Use this time to reflect on what you really want. Do you truly want a friendship, or is it just a way to keep them in your life? Look, I get it. The best way to get over someone is to get under someone new, right? Wrong. Well, at least not always. Science actually shows that jumping into a rebound relationship can prevent emotional closure. A study from the Journal of Social and Personal Relationships found that people who rebounded too soon carried unresolved baggage into their next relationship. So before you swipe right on the first person who looks like a version of your ex, ask yourself, am I emotionally stable or just bored? Not all rebounds are bad, but the key is your intent. If you're looking for a distraction rather than genuine connection, you might be setting yourself up for more pain. Instead, take time to enjoy being single, focus on self-growth, and build your confidence back up before rushing into something new. Example: Sarah jumps into a new relationship a week after her breakup. At first, she feels amazing. It's a distraction, a confidence boost. But within a month, she realizes she's comparing every little thing her new partner does to her ex. Instead of moving forward, she's trapped in the past, making it unfair for both herself and her new partner. Alternative: instead of rushing into dating, try doing things that boost your confidence. Hit the gym, take a solo trip, or even just reconnect with old friends. Build yourself up first. Oh, you do not need to check in on them. No, they do not need to know that a song randomly made you think of them. And absolutely not, you do not need to text, "I hope you're doing okay," at 2 a.m. This is emotional self-sabotage at its finest. Neuroscience tells us that every time we reach out, our brain releases a little dopamine, a feel-good chemical that keeps us addicted. It's like playing with fire and then complaining when you get burned. Every text you send keeps the door open, even if just a crack. If you truly want to move on, the best thing you can do is cut off unnecessary communication. It's tough, but in the long run, it will give you clarity and space to heal. Example: Jake texts his ex after 2 weeks of no contact, saying, "Hey, just wanted to see how you're doing. Harmless, right?" Wrong. His ex replies with a short, dry response, and suddenly he's analyzing every word, wondering if there's still hope. The cycle repeats, keeping him emotionally stuck. Alternative: if you're struggling with the urge to text, write your thoughts in a journal instead. It helps get your feelings out without causing more emotional damage. Ah yes, the classic breakup diet: ice cream pizza and a side of regret. While a little indulgence is fine, turning into a human garbage disposal isn't. Studies show that high-sugar, high-fat foods can actually make you feel worse in the long run. Research from Harvard Medical School links poor diet choices with increased depression and anxiety. And alcohol? It messes with your serotonin levels, making you feel even lower than before. So put down the 5th slice of pizza and do your future self a favor. Instead, try treating your body well. Exercise, eat nourishing foods, and engage in activities that boost your mood naturally. Your emotional healing will be much smoother if you're physically taking care of yourself. Example: after a breakup, Lisa binge eats takeout for 2 weeks and drinks every weekend to forget her ex. Eventually, she feels worse, sluggish, and stuck in an unhealthy cycle. Once she starts exercising and eating better, she notices her mood improving and her confidence returning. Alternative: swap emotional eating with physical activities like yoga, hiking, or even just a 10-minute dance break. It can work wonders. If you find yourself staring out the window while a sad song plays, imagining only the good moments, stop. It's a trap. Your brain has a tendency to idealize the past, making you forget all the actual reasons you broke up. A study from the Journal of Experimental Psychology found that nostalgia skews our perception, making us remember things as better than they were. Instead of reminiscing about the magical vacations and cute dates, remind yourself of why the relationship ended. Were they emotionally unavailable? Did you feel unappreciated? Write it all down so you don't let selective memory fool you. Example: Tom keeps replaying the time his ex surprised him with a birthday trip, but conveniently forgets how they constantly fought over trust issues. Once he writes a reality checklist, he realizes the relationship wasn't as perfect as he remembered. Alternative: create a list of reasons the breakup was necessary and read it whenever nostalgia kicks in. Let's be real. Closure is often just an excuse for one last meeting, one last conversation, one last chance to possibly get back together. And guess what? It rarely ends well. According to relationship expert Dr. Guy Winch, real closure comes from within, not from your ex. If you keep chasing it, you're just delaying your healing process. So if you were thinking of setting up a coffee closure chat, don't. Just close the door yourself. Preferably, lock it and throw away the key. Example: Emma insists on meeting her ex for closure. But instead of getting clarity, she leaves the conversation even more confused, hurt, and still attached. She realizes closure isn't something her ex can give her. It's something she has to find herself. Alternative: instead of looking for closure from them, write a letter to yourself detailing everything you learned from the relationship and what you want moving forward. Ah, the cryptic breakup posts. Some people never change. I guess love isn't real. I'm focusing on myself now. #self-love, #blessed. Stop. We all know what's going on. Social media revenge posting is a thing, and research shows that venting online can actually prolong negative emotions rather than help resolve them. So instead of broadcasting your emotional breakdown to your 300 followers, maybe journal about it? Or better yet, talk to a real friend who won't screenshot your breakdown for group chat entertainment. Example: David posts a dramatic tweet about how no one can be trusted anymore, hoping his ex will see it. Instead, he just looks bitter and pushes people away. Lesson learned: keep private pain private. Alternative: If you feel the urge to post, write a private note or talk to a trusted friend instead. Ignoring your feelings doesn't make them go away. It just bottles them up until they explode at the worst possible moment, probably at your cousin's wedding or in line at Starbucks. Studies in emotion journals suggest that suppressing emotions leads to higher levels of stress and anxiety. So cry it out, journal, talk to a therapist, scream into a pillow if you have to. Just don't pretend like you're fine when your Spotify Wrapped is 98% sad songs. Example: James avoids dealing with his feelings, pretending he's totally fine. Months later, he breaks down in the middle of a work meeting. Had he processed his emotions earlier, he could have healed much faster. Alternative: make space for your emotions. Schedule healing time where you allow yourself to process feelings in a healthy way. The worst thing you can do after a breakup? Forget who you were before them. Don't let this breakup define you. Science shows that rediscovering old passions and hobbies can actually accelerate emotional healing. So, pick up that hobby you dropped, reconnect with old friends, and most importantly, work on you. Because the best revenge isn't getting back at them, it's glowing up without them. Example: before dating, Lily was passionate about painting. After the breakup, she realizes she hasn't picked up a brush in years. Once she starts painting again, she feels more like herself and remembers she was whole before the relationship. Alternative: make a list of all the things you loved doing before the relationship and start reintroducing them into your life. So there you have it, the 10 worst things to do after a breakup. Did you relate to any of these? Drop a comment below. Let's share our worst breakup mistakes so others can learn from our pain. And don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you don't miss any future videos. Now, go forth and heal, preferably without making a tragic 2 a.m. text mistake. See you next time.